Video Game History, Time Warp Randomizer, Audio Podcast, Season 2, Episode 15, dated Wednesday, May the 13th, 2026. Welcome back, everyone, to Video Game History, Time Warp Randomizer, the show where we spin the wheel of time and land on a random year in video game history. And I'm your host, Jeremy from Video Gamers Oasis. In today's episode number 15, we're heading back to the year 2007, 19 years ago today. Today's featured titles we are going to research are Bird Pirates for Windows 2007 and Spinword, Windows 2007. We will also be making a brief journey to the year 1996 to research two video game corporations, the 3DO Company and Archetype Interactive Corp. This is Video Game History Time Warp Randomizer. But before we jump in, it's quiz time! Alright, listeners, let's test your memory of episode number 14. You've got 21 seconds per question. Here we go. Question number 1. Which famous PC gaming company released Best of Sierra number 6? This is a multiple choice question. A. LucasArts. B. Sierra Online. C. Activision. D. Or Microprose. Time's up. The answer is B. Sierra Online. Question number 2. What type of release was Best of Sierra number 6? And we have a multiple choice question. A. Racing simulator. B. Arcade compilation. C. Adventure game compilation. Or D. Educational software. Time's up. The answer is C. Adventure game compilation. Moving on to question number 3. Which genre was Sierra especially famous for during the 1980s and 1990s? Multiple choice here. Was it A. Sports games? B. Adventure games? C. Rhythm games? Or D. MMORPG games? Time's up. The answer is B. Adventure games. Moving on to question number 4. Which of these classic Sierra franchises was mentioned in episode number 14? Multiple choice now. Question number 4. A. Doom. B. Myst. C. Space Quest. Or was it D. Diablo? The answer is C, Space Quest. Question number 5. Before digital storefronts existed, what helped classic games stay popular? Multiple choice. A, streaming services. B, NFT marketplaces. C, compilation packs. Or was it D, cloud gaming? Time's up. The answer is C, compilation packs. Bonus lightning round. Fast answers only. Question. Sierra was famous for what genre? Answer, adventure games. Question. Which famous fantasy franchise was mentioned? Answer, King's Quest. Question. Which sci-fi comedy franchise was mentioned? Answer, Space Quest. Question. What operating system was Best of Sierra number 6 released for? Answer, Windows. Question. What type of gameplay often involved inventory puzzles? Answer, point and click adventures. How many questions did you get correct? Leave your score in the comment section below. If you got all the answers correct, give yourself a pat on the back. You have a growing knowledge of video game history and an elephant's memory. You know what time it is again. You can tell by the sound effects. It's that time again for Video Game History Open Mic, a light comedic rereading or retelling of video game history that we just reviewed. Here we go. You know you're playing an old Sierra game, and opening a door requires a fish, a rubber chicken, and emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
Sierra Games taught us that saving constantly wasn't optional. It was survival training. Nothing says, quote unquote, fun like spending 3 hours stuck because you forgot to pick up a paperclip in Chapter 1. Modern games give you quest markers. Sierra games, they give you anxiety. In Sierra Adventures, if you touched literally anything, congratulations, you died. I love how Sierra puzzles made perfect sense to the developers and absolutely nobody else on Earth.
Player 1, get ready.
Back then, quote-unquote easy mode meant the parser understood what you typed on the third attempt. Leisure Suit Larry proved one important thing. Awkward dating simulators existed long before the internet. And there you have it, folks. That was our episode of Video Game History Open Mic. Leave your heckling comments in the comment section below. And don't forget to tip your waitress. Next time. Bye for now.
Now it's time to enter the dates for Wednesday, May the 13th, 2026. These are all the dates in history, video game history. And big thanks to mobygames.com for the video game history trivia. Thank you so much for that website. Here we go.
Here it is. 1976, 50 years ago. 1988, 38 years ago. 1989, 37 years ago. 1994, 32 years ago. 1996, 30 years ago. 1997, 29 years ago. 1998, 28 years ago. 1999, 27 years ago. The year 2000, 26 years ago. 2001, 25 years ago. 2002, 24 years ago. 2003, 23 years ago. Go. 2004, 22 years ago. 2005, 21 years ago. 2007, 19 years ago. 2008, 18 years ago. 2009, 17 years ago. 2010, 16 years ago. 2011, 15 years ago. 2012, 14 years ago. 2013, 13 years ago. 2014, 12 years ago. 2015, 11 years ago. 2016, 10 years ago. 2017, 9 years ago. 2018, 8 years ago. 2019, 7 years ago. 2020, 6 years ago. 2021, 5 years ago. 2022, 4 years ago. 2023, 3 years ago. 2024, 2 years ago. And finally, the year 2025. That was just 1 year ago.
We'll calculate all these numbers, the dates into the randomizer computer wheel, and we will be right back with our spinning of the wheel. Now it's time to spin the wheel. Round and round, round she goes. When she stops, nobody knows. And the time warp stops on the year 2007. We're going to do some research on 2 video game titles from this year. However, we still need more content for this episode, so we will spin a second time. Let's spin a second time. Round and round she goes. When she stops, nobody knows. And the time warp stops on the year 1996. Interesting. This time we have 2 established video game corporations that are closely related to the research. We will take a quick break and then commence with our journey into video game history, the years 2007 and 1996. Don't go away. Video game history for May the 13th, 2007. Featured game number 1, Bird Pirates, brackets 2007 Windows. Here's the story and the concept of this game. Bird Pirates is a light-hearted indie action strategy game featuring cartoon birds that embrace the pirate lifestyle. Players command feathered pirate crews while searching for treasure, battling rival birds, and navigating colorful island environments. The game leaned heavily into humorous visuals and casual gameplay mechanics, making it accessible for younger audiences and fans of quirky indie titles. Here's the gameplay. Gameplay combines simple strategy elements with arcade-style action. Players could control pirate bird crews, explore maps and islands, collect treasure, engage in quick battles, and upgrade abilities and resources. The overall design emphasized fast gameplay sessions and comedic presentation rather than deep realism. Here's some interesting trivia to tell your friends about at parties. The game was part of the growing wave of experimental indie PC releases during the mid-2000s. Casual, downloadable Windows games became increasingly popular in 2007. Cartoon animal mascots were very common in lower-budget PC games of the era. The game had a distinctly humorous tone compared to realistic pirate games released around the same time period. Video game history for May the 13th, 2007 Featured game number 2, Spinword, bracket 2007 Windows. Here's the story and concept. Spinword, I don't think you should get it confused with Squidward, but that's a whole other story. Spinword with a vocabulary-focused puzzle title designed around rotating letter wheels and forming words under pressure. The game targeted casual puzzle fans who enjoyed brain training software and quick pick-up and play sessions. Gameplay. Players rotated groups of letters to create valid words before time expired. Core gameplay included timed puzzle solving, word recognition, or multipliers, increasing difficulty levels, and combo systems for longer words. The gameplay style reflected the popularity of puzzle and educational games in the Windows casual gaming market during the year 2000. Now for the trivia about this game. Word puzzle games experienced a major resurgence during the mid-2000s. Casual PC portals helped smaller puzzle titles reach wider audiences. Games like Spinword appealed to both younger and older gamers. Puzzle games became especially popular with office and family audiences during this era. Now journeying back to the year 1996. Newsflash! The 3DO company acquires Archetype Interactive. Here's a little history on the 3DO company. Overview. The 3DO company was founded in 1991 by industry veteran Trip Hawkins, who is also one of the founders of Electronic Arts. The company became famous for the 3DO Interactive Multiplayer Console, publishing PC and console games, experimenting with multimedia gaming technology. Here are some selected games credited to the 3DO company from the years 1994 to the year 2004. You may be familiar with some of these games, you may have played some of them. Here's a list. Gex. Gex. Enter the Gecko. Gex 3. Deep Cover Gecko. Heroes of Might and Magic. Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Might and Magic 4. Might and Magic 5. Might and Magic 6. Army Men. Army Men 3D. Army Men Sarge's Heroes. Army Men Air Attack. Army Men Toys in Space. High Heat Baseball. Battle Tanks. Battle Tanks Global Assault. Meridian 59. Portal Runner. Pardon me. 4 Heroes of Light. Foes of Ali. Killing Time. Hell, a cyberpunk thriller. Captain Quasar. Lucian's Quest. The Horde. Return Fire. Blade Force. World Destruction League. Balls with a Z. 3D. Off-World Interceptor. Crash and Burn. Immercenary. POD'd. Starfighter. FIFA Soccer 96 brackets 3DO platform version. And finally Need for Speed brackets 3DO platform version. And many more. Totally roughly 128 credited titles during its publishing years. Here's a brief history. The 3DO company initially focused on creating a next-generation gaming platform. Unlike competitors, the company licensed its hardware technology to manufacturers such as Panasonic and Gold Star. Although technologically impressive for its time, the 3DO console struggled commercially because of its very high launch price. By the late 1990s, the company shifted heavily towards software publishing and found success with franchises like Army Men and Heroes of Might and Magic. The company eventually filed for bankruptcy in the year 2003. Here's some interesting trivia. The original 3DO console launched at an expensive price point. The company heavily promoted full motion video gaming technology. Gex became one of the company's most recognizable mascots. 3DO company published some highly influential strategy games. The company's legacy still survives through franchises remembered by retro gamers today. Still traveling in the year 1996, we have another video game corporation closely related with 3DO, Archetype Interactive. Overview. Archetype Interactive was a game development studio best known for creating ambitious sci-fi role-playing games like Meridian 59. The studio focused heavily on online multiplayer concepts during the early days of internet gaming. Here are the games credited to Archetype Interactive from the years 1996 to 1997. Meridian 59 in the year 1996. And Meridian 59 Evolution Updates. That was made in the year 1997 with support content. Here's a brief history of the corporation. Archetype Interactive helped pioneer the MMORPG genre before online gaming became mainstream. In 1996, the company was acquired by the 3DO company, which continued development and support for Meridian 59. The acquisition demonstrated growing industry interest in online multiplayer gaming and persistent virtual worlds. Here's some interesting trivia to tell your friends at parties. Meridian 59 is considered one of the earliest graphical MMORPGs. The game launched before MMORPG giants like EverQuest and World of Warcraft. Archetype Interactive helped shape ideas later used by online RPG developers. And online gaming in 1996 was still considered highly experimental. In perspective, 2007 in gaming. The year 2007 represented an interesting era in gaming history. Big budget AAA games were rapidly evolving on consoles like the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Nintendo Wii. While indie PC developers continued experimenting with smaller, creative projects, games like Bird Pirates and Spinword remind us that not every release needed blockbuster graphics or massive marketing budgets to entertain players. Casual gaming, downloadable PC titles, and experimental indie concepts were all helping shape the future of gaming accessibility. In perspective, 1996 video game corporations. Meanwhile, in the year 1996, that was a major turning point for the video game industry. Companies were beginning to recognize the enormous potential of online gaming, multimedia technology, and 3D graphics. The acquisition of Archetype Interactive by the 3DO company reflected a growing belief that internet-connected gaming experiences will become the future. And history proved that prediction correct. If you enjoyed this episode, smash the subscribe button and share with your fellow gaming history fans. Check out this and older episodes on my Spotify playlist, as well as my YouTube playlist. Links are in the description. Every episode includes an interactive poll, so make your voice heard. Until next time, we spin again in the video game history time warp randomizer. Bye for now.